All right. If I can have your all's attention, please, I'll call the meeting to order. I want to welcome everyone that's here, as well as board members and guests. If you'll stand with me, please, we'll do the pledge of allegiance. Fields, would you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We do have a quorum, I believe. Yes. All right. Again, welcome. I see Megan from Senator McConnell's office. I see Jack from Transportation Cabinet. Brett, Transportation. Yeah. Make sure I had the right department. Our guest. That's it, other than staff and board. Welcome. Well, you all have anything you want to say or add to our meeting? Yeah.
Good.
All right. All right. Thank you. Next up, approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve.
I heard Lisa make the motion. I saw Mayor Hamburg second. All in favor of approving the agenda as presented, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Approval of the minutes. These minutes are from our June meeting. You had a chance to look at those yet, but if you have, I would entertain a motion. Dean? I'll second. Okay. Or was the second? All right, Mayor. Any changes, corrections, or adjustments to the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, aye. Aye. All opposed? Minutes are approved. Administrative, any ethics report today? Any?
Ethics report, the streak is alive, nothing negative.
Good.
Great report. Financial reports, Amanda?
The first thing I want to note here is just that this does not, in the annual budget, that does not represent the modification numbers, because putting that into our system is very manual and labor intensive, and we're going to be doing it for the new fiscal year. So I just wanted to make note of that there for anyone that needs a reminder of what those are, has questions, please reach out to me and I can get you that modification. We are pretty close to being on par with what we had originally requested in the modification. So for revenues, we're only looking at about 6% difference through June 30. We still have folks that are paying out their invoices on their side. So we expect that. I mean, it's a pretty reasonable amount. And then for just expenses in general, I wanted to just let everyone know in relation to the modification in the original budget, the travel and operating in general, we were able to reduce that and we so our revenues, we do have a 7% increase from revenue at the same time. And those are what make all of those up. We will be for FY27. We've got a new format. Avery's helped me kind of put. I don't have all the name information. I did put the interest facts in here. So that's it. Okay. We have also began the audit compilation for the FY26 audit, working with, you remember a few months back, we did accept and Tara signed their letter. So we'll be working with them again. And then of course, Randall and Ackley, who have some history and have helped us in the past, we'll be working with them a little bit this year, not as much as last year with all of the turnover. So any questions for any of those things or anything that I presented here today?
All right, do I hear a motion to accept the financial report?
Thank you.
Here, George. Any further discussion, questions, comments concerning the financial report? Hearing none, let's vote. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Moving into our programmatic items. Anything on aging disability service? See item A there, consideration of large invoice. Skip to the.
Everyone, for consideration and hopefully approval of two rather large invoices that I need to forward. So the first one is for our statewide aging database, and that is called Mona Me. Some of my staff would say it is not, but it really has been a great addition. This is our required state database. All 15 area development districts are involved in utilizing this database for reporting, case management, our Aging and Disability Resource Center, our ombudsman services. We utilize it for multiple functions. So this expenditures for $53,202.24. It covers our access to the database. The cost is spread across 8 programs through federal and state allocations that we receive from Dale. And they're prorated based on the number of staff who use the system. Providers are also responsible for a portion as set in their annual contract. So they are required to pay some because there is a provider portal where they do their billing. And so they are responsible for a portion of that. So the total is decided upon by the Department for Aging and Independent Living. And you are seeing the total right there. And so I'm seeking approval for that amount so we can send that to the state.
So moved.
Heard a motion from Pat.
Meyer, second.
All right. Further discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes.
Second invoice is for Claris Healthcare, and Claris provides tablets, electronic tablets for individuals. They're called Claris Companion tablets. It's great, great service that we've been utilizing for a while now for individuals. Helps them with their social isolation and just really getting out there and connecting. And really has been a great benefit to a lot of our clients. The payment for these tablets, which we are seeking approval for, $22,356, is actually covered in full by a grant that we recently secured by the Hale Foundation. So seeking approval.
I'll make that motion to approve. Motion and second. Any further discussion concerning that? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That motion passes as well.
Yes, I'm just gonna sit right here since I'm back up. Okay.
All right, so we're down to item 9.
Yeah.
All right. So this item is an item that is a bit different than we would normally be asked to do. But we wanted to brief you on where this stands to date. And at the end, if you're in agreement, I think maybe the best way to deal with this will be to ask you to give the executive committee the authority to move forward if you're comfortable. But we wanted to present it to you today and make sure you understand what's going on and see if you have any major concerns about giving us the executive committee authority. There are some major changes coming to the Medicaid waiver, the management authority, the system, the agents, and I'm gonna ask Tara to explain it better than I can. But there are some major implications to AD districts across the Commonwealth. Other ADs have already acted to join together in a lawsuit against the state. And I think maybe as many as 9 of them have agreed to move forward. We talked about it in executive committee and overall are in support of joining with them, but we've not seen the actual litigation. And there are some questions about how the cost of attorneys and things of that nature might be shared. So I think it's maybe premature today for us to vote to go forward. So we may have to act quickly. We also wanted to go unified support with the other ads. So I think by taking action, giving the executive committee authority kind of takes care of all concerns on both sides. Tell me if you agree once you hear the update. So Tara, I'll turn it over to you. I will say also, by the way, Casey Ellis, who is the executive director of the Council of AD for the state, he's kind of on standby. We can bring him in virtually if you need to get into detail, but he's not on with us at this point. I thought it might be better for us to just discuss it amongst ourselves. But if we need Casey, we can get him on the line. Tara, I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, good morning. Good afternoon. So this is something that I've reported to this body a couple of times already, and it just sort of keeps evolving. And so now it's at the point where coming to this group to ask for either at least potential action and just make sure that you're aware of kind of the severity of the situation. So quick reminder, because I know you all don't live and breathe these things necessarily every single day. So we provide Medicaid waiver services, two different pieces of the same program. And this is a fee for service. So unlike most of our other state and federal grants, the money that we earn is ours. So if we have extra at the end of the year, we get to keep it, as opposed to a program I'm going to talk to you later in my executive director report, where if you don't spend it at the end of the year, you have to give it back. So this is different from those. Fee for service, we do the service, we get paid, and then we get to use that money for other parts of our operations. Part of it goes to pay my salary, for example. Part of it goes to pay for Aging and Disability Resource Center, other things that keep this organization running. So it's a very important part of our organization for that reason. It's also, we think, a critical component of the service to the Medicaid recipients, the clients. And that's really mostly what I want you to think about today. So we provide support broker services, which means if a individual has been determined to receive a Medicaid waiver, that means they have a physical or developmental disability or an acute brain injury that is permanent. They need services that really will qualify for them to be in an institutional nursing home type environment. But as we all know, it's so much better to be at home. There's all kinds of reasons why it's better to be at home. And so these are individuals who have qualified. We don't determine eligibility. That's something the state does. But they've been determined to be eligible to receive these services, and they get in-home providers, or they're able to go to a provider. Sometimes children with developmental disabilities. They might go to a physical therapist that is paid for that or something like that. But anyway, they get to hire their own in-home care or their own care that they would go to. And then those individuals are their employees. So our team, our support brokers are checking to make sure that the medical provider is following the care plan and that person is safe and doing the best they can and they're good. That's called support broker. And those are Medicaid waiver staff have about 40 cases and they visit them once a month. So it's a pretty intensive process where they're very engaged with those individuals, going to see them monthly, checking on them. The other side of that is since those clients are having to hire staff basically, and be their employer, I mean, think about what that means, right? They're doing their payroll, they're withholding taxes, all the things you do if you're an employer. That can be very challenging for a family to just do with their income, especially if using Medicaid dollars. And so we also provide financial management assistance where they're not our employees, they're still the client's employees, but we process the payroll using a system called Mainsail. It takes out the guesswork for the client. And then if there's an issue, then our financial management staff can work with the case management staff to get those things fixed. The state has decided that they have issued an RFP. It is still open to, rather than have each area development district that's providing those case management services do the financial management, they want to have one provider statewide. You might think that it must be a cost saving measure, and that would make a lot of sense, but there's been no study done to show that that is the case, and they have not referenced that it is a cost saving measure. So we have some concerns about that. Also, we are very concerned that now our clients are going to have to be managing with who knows who, probably somebody out of state, maybe somebody out of country if they have some kind of issue. There's been a lot of action on behalf of the Kentucky Council of ADDs on our behalf. There's been protests made. Those have all been responded that they can do this. And so I feel like I'm getting a little off course here.
Yep. Well, it had occurred to me that since we're discussing potential litigation, should we go into executive session
Oh, we can.
before the board?
I make that
but-
motion.
Yeah, I do know we have folks that aren't on the board in the room, but it's really, I think maybe it's more comfortable if we do. And I did hear a motion to move into second. All in favor of executive session, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Yes, please excuse us for just a few minutes while we. All right, our recording has started back. All right, we have come out of executive session. Of course, no action was taken there, but we are back in open session and motion would be appropriate.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, and Tara, can you state what that motion would be?
Okay. I might need a little help, but Northern Kentucky Board of Directors has strong concerns about the impact to our over 800 Medicaid waiver clients and votes to allow the executive committee to enter into legal action to respond to the proposed RFP if needed on behalf of the board. I think is that right?
Is everyone, anything else need to be added to that? Does that capture everything that we would want?
What she said.
I'll second. All right. Motions from Mayor Hamburg. We have a second there from Mayor. Further discussion.
Call the question.
All right, hearing none. All those in favor of the motion as approved, as stated, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion passes. The executive committee will keep you all up to date. And if the executive committee needs to call a special meeting, we can do that, but it does give us the flexibility to move forward. And I think this will let the other ads know that we are united with them.
Judge, I want to ask it to be recorded as unanimous, if you would.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
It was a unanimous vote. Okay, all right. Very good. Moving on to, I know time's getting late here. We will really expedite. We've got a few action items we need to do. Okay, item number,
It says 76, it's 11.
yeah. Item 11, senior meal update. Ann?
Very quick. So we got great news yesterday. If you saw, we got double great news, but I'm going to talk about the meal. Great news we got from the governor yesterday at his press conference. We have an additional 4 million statewide going to meals, which is great news. Right before the meeting today, we got our allocation for Northern Kentucky, which was 170,000. That's based on a whole lot of things I don't have time to talk about, but that was really good for us. We're crunching the numbers and I will have a full report next.
Thank you, Ann. All right, item 78, which I'm guessing is number 12.
12. I don't know.
Yeah.
Avery's
With the
report.
senior, with the senior.
All right, Avery.
This is Brownfields, Clay. Yep.
Today, we're requesting the approval from the board to issue an RFP to help support or find a firm that can support our $500,000 Brownfield Community Assessment Wide Grant that we got for the city of Falmouth. The firm will help us in identifying the concerns that from prior industrial use. There are identified sites, but they need to do laboratory analysis and other things like that that we cannot do. So the RFP is located in your packet. There is one small change that we will not be accepting bids via email. But we're hoping to issue it August 3rd, with it being due September 4th and then awarded following the board meeting in September, if approved by the board.
The board will not be able to do that until October because they do not meet in September. And sorry, I told the staff that, but apparently they didn't get changed. But so do we need to have the due date a different day?
If we could do it prior, that'd be great. We're able to start work October 1st. But waiting until October could be doable.
We'll wait till
Don't think we'd have it in time for the August meeting.
It's a late meeting.
The
27th.
It would reduce the amount of time that the providers have to respond, and I'm not sure that's fair. It's a very technical issue. I don't know, Lisa, if you have any thoughts about that, but
I agree with you.
I think that would make it too short.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, no action required today.
Yes.
Oh, there is, yes, that's
Yes.
right, I see it. Do I hear a motion? So moved. Okay. Motion in a second. Further discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion passes. Item 13 is the clearinghouse.
Maybe we'll be reporting to Pedro, who is at a conference, by the way.
Yeah, Kay Joe's at a conference today, so Ivy, you're up.
All right, so I'm seeking the board's approval for 7 e-clearinghouse projects. 4 were sent out with the board packet, 3 came in post-board packet. These are there are 3 resurfacing projects and a water plant extension, wastewater plant extension for the city of Walton, a statewide rural business development grant, the Falmouth floodplain sinks project for the Pendleton County Fiscal Court, and then a Kenton County project for a expansion of the federal immigration detention capacity. So I'm just requesting the board's approval of all 7 of these today.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by Mayor, seconded by Mayor. A lot of mayors in the room. Discussion. All right, all in favor, aye. All opposed. Motion passes. Thanks, Ivy. Tara, your report, I hear is going to be abbreviated.
It's gonna be abbreviated.
Yeah.
I should have watched. Okay, so I'm gonna try to share my screen. I'm not sure it's gonna work out. So in the interest of time, I'll just tell you what I was gonna show you, which is, just really pleased how the commodities transition is going. The pantries and senior centers are working directly with Free Store Food Bank now and all their logistics, pickups, deliveries, et cetera. If you hear of a concern in your community, please let me know. We are addressing a handful of just different things individually. But the idea of the ad continuing to subcontract for this is that we can make sure that our pantries are getting the service that they need from Free Store. So if I haven't heard of too many concerns, but if you hear of any, please, please, please let me know and we'll make sure that those are addressed. We are now moving forward as a staff with the surplus disposal of all of our assets. We did go through a bid process. You all gave the executive committee the authority to handle that. They did so, reviewed all the sealed bids, which was one on Monday. And so we are now moving forward with another option for disposal of those surplus products at the warehouse. Everything from huge fans to racking to a cooler freezer, by posting most of them on Gov Deals. And there is a lot of great stuff. So maybe you want something. So we'll make sure everybody knows when it's all posted and you can go out there and look. We have been working very closely with the Kentucky Department of Agriculture on the items that were purchased directly with federal funds and cannot be disposed of in the way that everything else is. And so that is a truck. We're just going to keep the truck for a while and lease it to a TFAT provider, and that's going to be Brighton Center. We are going, we can just hand over title to another TFAT provider of some things. And the only entity that wanted, there's only so many TFAT providers. The only one that wanted our forklift was Action Ministries. So we've gotten verbal approval to just basically give the forklift to Action Ministries. We have to just get an email, yes, from Kentucky Department of Agriculture, but we talked to them this morning and they were okay with that. And in the cooler freezer, we've gotten clarification, really awesome clarification that they've actually only paid for repairs, not the entire freezer. We originally purchased that freezer for just over $136,000. And so they only paid for about $16,000 in repairs, and a lot of that was labor. So we are finding those itemized receipts and trying to figure out if the total amount of the actual equipment that was used was over 10,000. It's going to be really tight, friends. But if it's not, we can just, if it's under 10,000, we can just keep all the proceeds from the sale of the freezer. We have asked all of our partners if they want this freezer and no one has room for it. It is 65 feet by 16 feet. This thing is huge. And Chris Courtney's been working really hard to try to find a buyer. We think we might not use Gov Deals. We may use something called Purple Wave, which is an agricultural focused online site that, we think maybe because of the nature of this product, it might go better on a site that people are about, they're agriculturally focused, they might need it. So that is your update on what's happening with commodities. We are also very actively helping Meals on Wheels find a new location. So if you know of a place in either central or southern Boone or Kenton County that could house Meals on Wheels, give them access to a fridge and a freezer and about 1,100 square feet on access Monday through Friday, they really need that. They have one possible idea and another alternate possible idea, but we are not taking it for granted. So if you know of a place, let me know. We'll get it on the possibility list because we need them out of the warehouse so that we can get a new tenant in there ASAP and not be paying rent.
Do they need a kitchen?
No, they need like a stage. The 1,100 square feet is kind of a staging area, but they make the meals at their Cincinnati place and then they use this location as a hub. And then because they have found we are not requiring them to have a Northern Kentucky location. They feel it is essential to their operations to have a Northern Kentucky location because getting someone who's willing to drive from Cincinnati to Carrollton is really hard to find. So they think if they, if you have somebody who's moving the product from Cincinnati to that Northern Kentucky spot, and that's, this outpost, and then they have other drivers that are going, it makes more sense for them. So it's their choice.
Do they currently pay rent for the space?
They do not.
So
It
they're
is an
looking for a
in-kind.
in-kind.
Yeah, probably, or something that is very affordable. And keep in mind, we use them as our subcontractor with federal and state funds to provide the home delivered meal program. So it is in our interest for them to find a great space, because otherwise it could impact the meal numbers that Ann just talked about. So it's all connected. Wanted to let you all know our JFA contract is delayed again this year. Last year it didn't come until September. It's on track to probably have a similar timeline. We did work with the State Department of Local Government. They were very nice. They gave us a letter saying it's a preliminary funding commitment, and we sent that to our auditor because we know that they're going to have worries. They said, yeah, that's not good enough. Don't use that money until you have a contract. So that makes it really challenging for us to have a contract or to pay all the folks that are on that contract. So more to come on that. We can move things around for a while, but it is just something that we're going to need to watch. If you haven't taken your community economic development strategy survey yet, you really need to take it, because it's helping decide, kind of what's next about your priorities for your communities. So if you need information on that, you can ask Ivy or maybe even Avery, I'm not sure, in the back, and they can get you that link. So please take it. Annual meeting. We need to know if you're coming or if you're not coming. Well, you don't have to let us know if you're not, but if you're coming, we need you to sign up. So there's a thing at your seat, and you can use the scan, or you can even just tell Avery and she will get you signed up. Every board member gets one complimentary ticket. One. So please RSVP, please, because it helps us buy the right amount of food and all of that. There's the agenda. If you haven't been to an annual meeting before, there's awards, there's great lunch, there's a speaker. It's going to be so fun, and it's going to be the first time ever that we combine the ad event with the workforce event. It's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be at Boone Links. So please come, but let us know if you do. I'm done.
All right.
Move on to the nominating.
Any questions for Tara on anything in her report? All right, nominating committee, I appointed Judge Fields and Matt Eberfeld, myself. We were the nominating committee. We did meet. Our recommendation is.
It's coming.
We'll put that on the screen. All right. Of course, I'll move into the past chair seat for 6 months, and then you all can figure that out. The incoming chair would be Mayor Adams, if you approve. He's been our vice chair. First vice would become Judge Morris from Gallatin County. Second vice would be Mayor Henson from Williamstown. Your at-large, and treasurer would be Brittany King, would be your treasurer. She is a CPA or a financial expert, but she has a background in finances and has been doing a great job as treasurer. The at-large members from Campbell, if you approve, would be Matt Elberfeld. The at-large from Owen County would be Judge Woodyard, and Judge Fields from Pendleton. Brittany would serve as the Kenton County rep as well as the treasurer. I think I covered everyone, didn't I? Yeah, we got you.
Sorry, I don't have Brittany's last name. Everybody else has a last name, and then it's Brittany. So that's on me.
Brittany King.
That's on me. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
But that's the recommendation of the nominating committee. Of course, you're free to do otherwise. But what is the will of the board? By the way, this would be the election if you approve the nominating.
It would, and the board has the ability to vote today, or you can decide to wait and vote on in August, but the officers would take, the transition of officers would occur in September at the annual meeting, either way.
Motion to approve acclamation.
I'll second.
All right. I heard the mayor from Mayor Hamburg. I actually saw mayors motion first, but I heard a second over here. Was it Mayor Link also? So mayor's in force. You. Further
behind that chair for the
Yeah,
mayors and mayors.
Yeah.
Get my back.
The motion was to approve by acclamation. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we have an approved slate of officers for the coming year. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
All right. So nominating committee, executive, any other old business today? Or new business? Okay, Tara. Oh, I've got something I was gonna say. This is the final board meeting that Chris Courtney will be attending as an employee of the NKADD. Chris will be moving on to another venture. More to come on that later. But I wanted to comment that we are appreciative and thankful for Chris's service and what he's given to our region and to our counties. Chris, thank you for everything and best wishes to you in your next endeavor.
Thank you.
Right, back to you, Tara.
I have a giveaway. So if you don't know me very well personally, you might not know that, first of all, I used to know how to make maps. I studied GIS in grad school. And also I'm kind of a big history buff. And we have all these really beautiful old maps of all these different parts of our jurisdiction. We do not use them anymore. We have digital maps now, but I have a whole box of them. And I just did not have the heart to throw them away or recycle them. They're so pretty. So if you would like to look, there's all different jurisdictions. If you would like your own random map, and they're really kind of big, please join me over here with my large box of maps, and you can take one home for your very own or for your office. And they really are nice. That's all I got.
All right. Any other new or old business? Any announcements?
I was just gonna motion to adjourn.
I'll second. We have a motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor, say, get your map. All right. Thank you all. Yeah.